welcome to the Growth Invitation, where we invite guests from all over the world to show you their growth transformation and hope to inspire you on your journey. Today, I am super excited because we have the amazing Karolin Loven with us. Hello, Karolin.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me. What a lovely introduction. Thank you.
So Karolin is a transformation coach and a hypnotherapist. And without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Karolin and give us a little bit of an intro about herself.
Well, thank you. You did that very well. I have lived a life in struggle and in pain and unhealth for more than 30 years. And I have been able to transform that to empowerment, vitality, fulfillment, and joy. It's just incredible to be where I'm at and being able to suffer for so many years and being able to transform that into like Pandora's box of how I can help everyone else who's struggling out there in the world. I help people undoing, unprogramming their subconscious mind, becoming bigger than who they think they are, their misperceived understanding of their limited identity.
Wow, that is such a powerful place to be. You know, I alluded to this a little bit earlier. Life has not always been flowing and all positive and all empowering for you, right? Would you mind telling us a little bit about what was your starting point?
For 30 years, as mentioned, I had chronic pain in my joints and muscles and ligaments. I had extreme high stress levels. My nervous system was on an overdrive, and I had untreated PTSD. I didn't even know I had that. I went in and out of depression, like, you know, that's the only way doctors could say. It seems like you're so stressed and depressed, you know. And my immune system was completely just non-existing. I had vertigo. Every time I got a cold, I got like sinuses infections. I got extreme high fever. I got, you know, like brain inflammation. Oh, it's just, everything was just drama and struggle. And my unhealth was really affecting me to the point that I had a complete burnout and exhaustion and brain fog. And I was in a place 2.5 years ago where I just thought to myself, this cannot be what life is about. Like, I'm so sick and tired of struggling, trying to fix myself, trying to understand how to improve, and being disappointed every time I tried something new that it didn't shift.
So what were the kind of things that you tried out?
First, I looked at one point, you know, like, oh, you have inflammation in your elbow. Not, you know, I wasn't able to, and I didn't believe in and didn't have access to holistic health, you know, coaches or doctors or whatever. And I live in Sweden, and it's very much like Western medicine that is the only way, right? I couldn't get the right help within the health system. When I came to psychologists, I was so aware that they didn't even know how to help me. They're like, okay, you know, that, like, and just to sit and talk about the traumas and the problems I had didn't change anything with me. It actually pulled me down quite a bit and just made me sometimes even more stuck. And I felt that I was beyond reach. There was nothing to help me. I changed my diet, of course, you know, not of course, but that's like the most easy thing we can do for ourselves. So it was diet, mindset, you know, trying to read self-help books, all these things. And yet I didn't know how to apply them. I didn't know how to really shift, because my life was so poor in so many areas. Like, where do you start? Is it the doctor? Is it this part of the body that's most important? Is it my stress, or is it the fact that I can't sleep? Is it the pain clinic? Should I go to acupuncture? Should I start doing yoga? You know, like, where to start? I was so overwhelmed. And when I started something, I just was met by backlashes and big, like a frying pan in my head of new pains, new dramas, new situations that pulled me out of the intention that I just set. And I just lived like this disappointment again and again, not being able to carry through. And it just told me the story of, I'm beyond reach. There's no way, no one can help me. And that's what doctors said as well. We can't have, there's nothing we can do. You're never going to be a mother. You're never going to be able to work full time. And I was told so many things that limited my understanding of what was available to me. So I didn't ask much about for life either. Didn't have supportive family. Didn't have supportive friends that, it's also a lot to demand from family and others to fix you. You can't do that. So, but I was very separated and alone because I didn't have the energy to be committed and stay in relationships for long either. Everything had to be cut down to the bone for me to be able to survive. It was a lot of struggle and a lot of stress. Yes.
Wow. It sounds like, it wasn't even for the lack of trying. Did you ever have any thoughts about ending it, like ending your life?
Thank you for asking me that. It's a really important question to ask. And it's something I'm very happy for. Not that having those kind of thoughts is nothing wrong with that. It's very human. But I find it quite interesting, despite that, and I've really been like at the bottom of the dirt, right? Crawling around there, not knowing how to get up. But when I've been there at the darkest moments, something really interesting has happened within me. It's like this deep power that has just taken over me. Like, Karolin, get up. Like this survival energy has just taken over. And I've never felt so strong as I felt when I have been at the bottom again and again, and I have rised up. And that energy must have been a higher power than myself. That's how I can explain it to you. That, like, call it quantum power or higher consciousness. It wasn't my time to go. It wasn't my time to give up. But I've never actually have ever thought about ending my life. And I'm very grateful for that.
So you mentioned a lot about the 2.5 years and this transformation. So tell us, what has happened over the last 2.5 years and what has been your experience?
2.5 years ago, I started to learn about quantum physics. And it was this man, 𝐕𝐵𝐺𝐻, that you also know about, Janet. 𝐕𝐵𝐺𝐻 and some other big people in the world through social media introduced quantum physics to me. And before that was only like Nobel Prize awarding. I didn't understand how quantum physics or what that would have to do with me and my quality of life, right? But through Joe Dispenza and also my hypnotherapy teacher, Marissa Peer, and other sources like Mind Valley, where people talk about this metaphysical dimension of life, right? And what is the metaphysical dimension of life? You can call it quantum physics, you can call it quantum field, the source, consciousness, God, whatever relation, spirituality. There's so many words on what this other thing is. And I have lived a completely physical matter reality life. Like my parents were, after war, they were born the year during the war and after the war, but it really has affected them, of course. So everything has been about caring for physical matter reality for them, maintaining stuff. And that's where I was struggling with my physical body, trying to live. However, I was playing a game of non-sentient beings where I was broken down because I wasn't able to raise my energy levels. The quantum physics has told me that when we raise our consciousness, when we raise our energies and can elevate our emotions to rise, that's when we awaken a completely new dimension in our life. And actually, we as human beings, we aren't just physical matter beings. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's like the newest of quantum physics. If you never heard this before, it might be quite challenging. But what I've learned, and which was very challenging for me to take in, but also gave me hope that I could change my situation, is that yes, I am an experience here on earth. I am a body. Half of me is my body and my physical matter reality, and half of it is a wave, a metaphysical part that is my dreams, my inspiration, my hopes, my energetic being as such, and my awareness and consciousness. And I had no connection with that before. I had no connection with my passion in life, my inspiration, my motivation. It was pure survival. So I was only living my life in like a half dimension, right? And it was hard because my body wasn't functioning. So when I found the tools and awareness that there's a whole different world here, that where energy work and awareness can help me in my physical matter experience here on earth, it was just so incredible. And also to know that this metaphysical part, this high consciousness, is something I can tap into. Like no one else needs to fix me. I empowered myself by understanding how this game works. And I was able to tap into this quantum field, universe, source, or whatever you call it, through my body by activating my torus. And the torus is a magnetic field around our body. And all of us have it. And to know that and being able to enhance and strengthen my energetic field has caused this vibration. I think you can see in me, I am glowing. Where does that glow come from? It comes from that I'm tuned in to the field around me. And we all have that ability. We all have the ability to tap into this other dimension of ourselves and enlighten and truly, truly empower ourselves. And that's not difficult to do. We just need to have a little bit of theory and then have someone that can guide us to understand and to do the practice on our own. And that's what I'm able to give to people. Jackson, this is more about just expanding and unfold yourself, you know. And what we know from quantum physics also is that the quantum field, the signature, the frequency of the quantum field is unconditional love. So what happens when we tap into this is that you shower and bathe yourself, and your biochemistry is showered in unconditional love. And what we know from that, the frequencies of love is healing. It changes like the environment on a biochemical cellular level. And my body and all my cells were swimming around in shit, cortisol, stress hormones, inflammation, and medicine, and just, I'm sorry, my body, what I've, put you through. And to be able then to shift the biochemical soup that my cells then could swim around in and enhance that environment, cleansing, clearing my energy around my cells. And what we know about that, when we change our biochemistry, it affects everything. It affects your health. It affects how you're thinking and how you feel. Right? This torus, of course, enlarge your ability to really be empowered as an energy, but it really changed you on a body level as well.
What an incredible explanation. Thank you for that. Both you and I have experienced such changes. And when you see people, when you say, you've got a glow around you, you're really you're radiating happiness, joy, bliss, and love.
Life still happens. It's not like I'm, have created this world where everything is in abundance and no problems is around me. I have at the moment so many challenges in my life, but how I can be in the same life, like I said, I have the same circumstances. I have the same ex, I have the same mother, I have the same, these triggers that sometimes can really put us on a tangent. I have two very intense, lovely boys. And as parents, we know that they can really teach us about our shadow selves and everything that comes out from those trigger points. But to be able to master myself on the level I am by the tools I've learned, both through rapid transformation therapy, how I rewired my brain. Now I can master my emotions, master my thinking, and I can choose how I act rather than react in most circumstances.
So just to wrap this up then, if there is one tip that you can give to my audience about going on that growth journey, kickstarting or reinvigorating themselves, what would you say that would be?
That would be to really believe that transformation is available for you, to really understand that you have everything within you, and just make sure that you find the right information and guidance for you to unfold that.
Beautiful. a new future is always available. Thank you so much for your time, Karolin. It's been amazing to have you on here. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.